right, y'all, guess what? We are doing something new. Now, here's the deal. You guys send me questions all the time on social media, through our email, and so on. And there has not been a great way for us to answer them. So you know what? We're going to do it right here on the Christy Wright Show. Now, here's the thing. My team has printed off these questions. I have not seen these questions, so I have no idea what you're asking. It's going to be great. We're just going to go with it. I'm going to pull out some questions, and we're just going to answer a few here. By the way, if you want to ask a question for me to answer on a future show, you can send it to me at Christy B. Wright on Instagram, and we'll try to get it in the fishbowl. All right, let's see what our first one is. Do you have advice for heading back to work after being a stay-at-home mom for 14 years? I love this because this is something, y'all, that so many people experience, whether you're a stay-at-home mom for just a short season or 14 years or more. I know it can be intimidating. You've got a lot of fears running through your mind. You're worried that you're behind. You're worried that you're not qualified anymore. Here's the thing. I just want to remind you that God can use you right where you are. God knew you were going to stay home for that season. He's not up in heaven wringing his hand. Oh, I forgot she's kind of behind on technology. Oh, she didn't update her resume. No. Here's the thing. If you feel ready to go back into the workforce, there are practical things you can do, but I first want to set you free from your fear. All of those fears of there's not going to be anything for you, that's just fear, and it goes back to what I tell you all the time. Don't wait until you're not scared to do the thing you want to do. You do it while you're scared. Now, after you push past your fear, you're going, okay, like practically, tactically, what do I need to do? Okay, sure. A couple of things. One, you're going to want to update your resume and be honest on it. Stayed home with your kids for 14 years or 3 years or whatever that is. Update your resume so that it's accurate to what you're doing today and what you want to do for the job that you're seeking. Second, start asking around. You will be amazed at the doors that will open simply because you started asking. And often I've found in my own faith walk that God uses people to help people. Maybe you find your dream job from a job posting, but maybe it's just because you ask around. You ask your family, you ask your friends, hey, I'm interested in getting back into the workforce. Here's what I'm interested in doing. Here's what I'm good at if you know of anything. Send an email to your friends, anybody that works at companies that you love the company. When you start to just put the word out there, watch how people come around you, they support you, they encourage you, and they open doors for you. So update your resume, start to put the word out there, and obviously, most importantly, think about what you want to do. This is a new season of life. It's okay if you don't want to do what you were doing before you stayed home with your kids. You might be a different person in a different season with different priorities and a different focus 14 years later. That's okay. Just figure out what you want to do. And even if your first job back into the workforce is a stepping stone, that's okay. May not be your dream job, but it's going to be something to get your feet wet, get your confidence up, get a paycheck coming in, and that might open the door to the next thing that you want to do. But I just want to encourage you, don't feel left behind, unqualified, or that somehow you have missed out. That season was right for you then. And now we're going to talk about what's right for you right now. And you have permission to change your mind and change your plans. I love this question. And when you do it, write back and let me know how it goes. Okay, what else we got here? How do you know a career path you chose is God approved? Oh, that's a small question. Hang on. God, I don't know. Listen, I'll tell you for me, what are some, what does this hand motion mean? Some metrics, like some variables that this helps me know I'm on the right path. Some signs. That's what I'm looking for. Signs. If a career path, or let's just say any decision for that matter, any major decision, small decision, how do you know if that is God approved? Okay. First and foremost, when I am making a decision that I know is right or feel the most that I can that is right, I have a peace about it. A peace about it. Now that sounds really nice and fluffy, fairy dust. And it's just a peace. No, it's a different type of feeling in your spirit. It's, this just feels right. It's the same reason that when you make a decision that doesn't feel right, you can't quite articulate it, but you don't have peace. You have anxiety, your thoughts race, you are a nervous wreck, you're up at night, you feel angst in your spirit, you feel a tension in your spirit. And I don't mean nerves like the good kind of nerves where you're excited. I mean like the dread kind of nerves. Like I feel dread at this decision. I feel anxious about this decision. I do not have peace. So for me, the most definitive marker for me on whether or not a decision is right, a career move is right, whatever that is peace. Do you have peace about it? And God says this in his word. He will give you a peace that surpasses all understanding. You can do something that seems crazy, illogical to the world, but if God calls you to it and you have a peace about it, it's probably what he's calling you to, even if everyone else doesn't understand. Even if all the facts don't line up and you're like, well, this seems kind of crazy. I'm not saying don't be wise with what you're doing, but God will ask you to do some crazy stuff. And if you look at the Bible, you see lots of examples of this. So the first most clear thing that I can tell you is, do you have a peace about it? Do you have a peace about it? A second sign or indicator on whether or not something is God approved is if you are having the path open up for you. So let's say, for example, you want to work for this company and you apply for a job and you don't get it, and you apply for another job and you don't get it, and you apply for another job and you don't get it. I mean, there is something to persistence and perseverance and don't take no for an answer. But at some point you're going, God's maybe saying no. That's maybe him saying no. Because you've tried to bust down every door ever and God is saying no. I will tell you, I have done this before, not with careers necessarily, but other decisions where it's like, I wanted to do something and then I tried to do it and God shut a door, and I tried something else and God shut a door, and I'm trying to jump through a window and God shuts the window, and I'm trying to sneak in the back and God burns the whole house down. And I'm like, okay, I guess I wasn't supposed to go into that house, right? If God does not want you to do something, he will make it incredibly difficult or even impossible for you to do it to protect you from it. So if you are trying to pursue a career path and it is just one door after another shut in your face, might be a clue he doesn't want you to do it. Now, if it's the first door, if it's just one door, someone did not have a valet come welcome you from your car and escort you in and it got a little hard, it doesn't mean you're not supposed to do it. It means you're supposed to be persistent. But I'm saying if we've been at this for a long time and every angle you've ever tried is exhausted, it might be God is saying that's not the path for you. So do you have a peace about it or not? And is the path opening up for you? Might not open up effortlessly, but at some point those doors are opening. I'll give you a great example. When I came to work here for Ramsey Solutions, I've shared this story before, but I literally felt God tell me, I was working for a nonprofit. I was like, God, I want to find a company I believe in. The words entered my mind, you're going to work for Dave Ramsey. I was like, great. Who is Dave Ramsey? I didn't know who that was. I could not make this up. I walk over to my laptop. I Googled Dave Ramsey. It says based in Nashville. I was like, fantastic. I'm from Nashville. I don't even have to move. From that point forward, I started looking for positions. Well, I applied for the first position that I could find that I thought I was qualified for, and it was an event coordinator position. It was on our live events team back in the day. This was 2009. I applied for the position. You know what happened? I immediately got an email that said, this position has been filled. Now, if at that moment I was like, well, I heard God wrong, I'm not supposed to work there, and gave up, I would have completely misread where God was calling me. Instead, you know what I did? That door didn't work. I tried another door. And it was the second door that opened that led to a job that was sent to me from someone internally, that led to an interview, that led to a job being offered, and that turned into now what I'm doing today. But it was 15 stepping stones to get to what I'm doing today. It wasn't just this perfect path where they came to my house and said, would you like to be a personality? No, this is 12 years of a journey here of stepping into what God's calling me to do. So I just want to encourage you. If you have a peace about it, it's probably right for you. And if the path is opening up, maybe not effortlessly, but it is opening up and moving you forward, then it's probably right for you. But I want to end on this note. For any of you facing any decision about anything, a job, a house, where your kids go to school, starting a business, something with your family, whatever it is, and you are asking that same question, and you are going, is this from God or not? Which is like a major question, right, y'all? Like we all ask this. If you're a believer, you want God's plan for your life and you're asking, God, I want discernment. Is this from you or not? Is this your idea or my idea? Because I want your ideas. I want to give you some encouragement today. If you seek the Lord, he will not let you go wrong. If you seek the Lord, he will not let you go wrong. If you start taking steps down a path he does not want you to go and you're seeking him, he will literally put up guardrails. He will slam doors in your face. He will slam windows. He will burn the house down so you can't go into it. If you're seeking him, he will not let you go astray. Now, if you're not seeking him, I mean, you and I know how that turns out. We've seen examples in scripture. We have examples in our own life. If you're not seeking him and you are just determined, like, see, I got this, God, and you're doing your own thing, he'll let you make mistakes and reap the consequences of that. He'll let you drive your car off the road if you are determined to do things your own way. He will let you reap the consequences of your decisions if you're not seeking him, if you ignore him, if you are not listening to him. But if you seek him, if you pray about something, if you ask him, if you seek him and you look for him, his word says he will be found by you. And I believe that if you seek him, he will not let you go wrong. So take heart as you pursue this decision. If you seek the Lord with every step, just know that if you're not supposed to do it, he will direct you in a new direction. I love the quote by my friend Lisa Bevere where she says, if you think you have blown God's plan for your life, rest in this. You, my friend, are not that powerful.